Yes, now everyone, welcome back to another episode of Predict here on the Don Sport Chat YouTube channel. This week is the penultimate game week of the A-League regular season. We got some mega games coming up, but before we get into that and introducing our guests for this week, let's just check in on how we did last week. I picked up 2 points for myself, and so did the guests. So no changes in the guest lead at the moment. I'm now on 69 points. The guests are on 80. Got a lot of catching up to do in these last 2 game weeks. Now, on to today's guest. I thought it'd be only fitting to get on the guy who started off the predicts with the guests this season, Joe K Football. Joe, thanks for joining us again on Predicts. Second time back, but you were also the first guest, so thought it'd only be right to get you on in the last couple of weeks of the league.
Oh, what an honour. What an honour. Yeah, no, thanks for having me back on. Definitely got to do better than last time, but let's go.
All right, first game of this week. It's a big one. Newcastle Jets taking on Wellington Phoenix. Newcastle Jets have a massive say in this Premier's race at the moment. They play the Wellington Phoenix this week. They play the Mariners in the Derby next week. They've got a massive say and they're in some good form at the moment. The Jets 2 wins on the bounce against Sydney FC and Brisbane Roar last week up in Suncorp Stadium. Wellington, they had that magnificent final minute winner from Finn Sermon last weekend in Wellington. And I think Wellington have enough to get over the Newcastle Jets in this one. The Jets are on some good form, so it wouldn't surprise me if they picked up a point or 3 this weekend. I'm going to go for a Wellington win, though, and I'm going to go for a 2-1 Wellington win. All right, first game, Newcastle Jets taking on Wellington Phoenix. Jets have a big say to say in this Premier's Plate race. Do you think they say something in this game?
You know what? I think they might. Wellington, I think they're probably going to miss out in the end, but I think it's definitely going to go down to the last day. I think we're going to get a draw in this game, a 2-2 draw is what I'm going to go for.
Next up, we have quite possibly the biggest game of the weekend. Western Sydney Wanderers taking on Melbourne City. Basically a fight for that 6th place and to make it into finals. It's a mega game. The Wanderers, obviously, they're on a bit of patchy form. 2 losses on the bounce. Melbourne City, they just had the biggest win in A-League history, beating Perth Glory 8-0. They're on some good form, Melbourne City, but after the last 2 times they've had big wins this season, against the Wanderers earlier this season, and also against Brisbane at the start of the season, they just haven't been able to capitalise in the next coming games, and that's a problem for Melbourne City. They need to win this game. And they're going into state. They're not very good travellers this season as well. I think that's going to be a problem for Melbourne City. I'm actually going to go for the same score that we saw in Unite round. I'm going to go for a 1-0 Wanderers win in this one. And then obviously our team, the Western Sydney Wanderers, massive game against Melbourne City for that 6th place. Do you think we have a chance?
There is no reason for me to give us any chance at all, but I am a Wanderers fan and I am biased, and this is the definition of a 6-pointer. We win, we're in finals. We lose, we still got a chance, but it's all but done. I think we might get one of, I swear we've only drawn like 3-4 games this entire season, but I think we're going to get a 0-0 draw in this game. Some of the worst football of the season, but we keep our finals dreams alive until the last round.
Next up in this Super Saturday of fixtures, we got Melbourne Victory taking on the Brisbane Roar. A must-win for both teams. Melbourne Victory must win to secure that 3rd place and a home final in the final series coming up in a couple of weeks. And Brisbane, they need to win both of these last 2 games and hope that results really go their way. But it's all but done for Brisbane. Melbourne Victory, they're in finals. They don't need to worry about that. And I think they've got the capabilities of winning this one against Brisbane. Brisbane don't really typically travel well down to Amy Park. I've got Melbourne Victory winning this one. I've got them winning 2-1. And then Victory against the Raw. Raw have the smallest of chances to make finals, but Victory will be looking to wrap up that 3rd place this weekend.
Yeah, and I do think they will wrap it up this weekend pretty comfortably as well. I think I'm going to go like a 3-0 win to the Vuck.
Next up, and the final game on this Saturday, Super Saturday of football, Macarthur taking on Sydney FC. Macarthur getting that win last week over Adelaide at Coopers Stadium. Irankund's farewell game at Coopers didn't go to plan for Adelaide. And Macarthur, they were down to 10 men, and it was a 2-goal. They came back, scored 2 goals. They won it 2-1. Insane scenes at Cooper Stadium. Sydney FC, insane scenes as well at Allianz Stadium. They beat the Wanderers there. First home win in the derby since 2022. And, just absolute scenes there in the end with Jaden Kaczarski scoring that last-minute goal. But who will basically seal up that third place in this game? I'm going to go for Macarthur. I think Macarthur, over the full season, I think they have really impressed me, at least. A very, very impressive season from Macarthur. Valère Germain, he's been insane, and he's going to be the key for Macarthur today. I've got Macarthur winning this one, actually. I've got Macarthur winning this one 3-2 over Sydney FC. And then we have Macarthur versus Sydney FC. Pretty much, it's all but confirmed that this will be a final as well. It's just this is pretty much the game that who will host the final.
Right. Yeah. So I think this is the inaugural Sony Cup. Is that what it is?
Yes, I think it's something like that. Yeah.
Something like that. Which is not against the league trying to stuff like that, but I think there's probably going to be, there's definitely going to be more Sydney FC fans regardless of where the finals played, if we're being completely honest here. I think this game is going to be a banger. I reckon this is going to be a really good game, this one. Sydney FC, great at keeping the ball, great with the press. Macarthur, great in transitions. I think we're going to get 3-2 win to Macarthur.
Second last game of this penultimate game week in the A-League. Mariners taking on Adelaide United. Second last game of Irankunda's farewell tour for the A-League. And the Mariners, they had a midweek draw in the AFC Cup semi-final. And it's going to be a long trip back from them, from what I'm hearing. Mariners, they're looking really good this season. It's really just a shootout between them and Wellington Phoenix at the moment. They've got the advantage, though. They've got the most wins. They've got the better goal difference. And I think they'll get the better of Adelaide in this game. I just don't see Adelaide being able to go to Industry Group Stadium and pick up all 3 points in this one. Do expect Adelaide to score, though, and I expect it to be a bit closer than everyone is going to suggest. I'm going to go for a 2-1 Mariners win in this one. And then on Sunday, we have the Mariners taking on Adelaide, the penultimate game of Irankunda's farewell tour. Does he upset the Mariners' hopes this weekend?
The thing is, it's been quite crazy watching Irankunda these last couple of weeks. I think start of the season, Adelaide United, they lost Goodwin, and they were pretty poor for a large stretch at the start of the season. Irankunda's now finally truly filling the boots of Goodwin after last season. He's picking up points for them left, right and centre, scoring outrageous goals that just no one else in the league could ever dream of scoring. I think they're also going to get some points off the Mariners this weekend as well. And I think it's going to be 2-2. Irankunda scores at least one and probably sets up the other.
And then the final game for this week is another massive game. It all but decides the wooden spoon for this season. Perth Glory taking on Western United. Western United currently have the advantage after picking up that draw against Adelaide in midweek. But I like Perth at the moment. They haven't been playing well. Obviously, they need a bounce back after last week and that 8-0 loss against Melbourne City. And, we're better to get that bounce back than at your home stadium. And I just can't see Perth not winning this one, in my opinion. I'm going to go for a Perth win, and I'm going to go for a 3-1 Perth win. And then the final game, it's been dubbed by Lockie, my podcast co-host, as the Spoon Bowl, because it's the game that will decide the wooden spoon. But who really comes out on top on this one?
Okay, the Spoon Bowl. I like it, Lockie. I like it. So what are the standings right now? So Western are a couple points clear, are they?
Perth is bottom, only by Western's above them by 1 point.
Okay. I think this is the week, Perth. You win the Spoon Bowl. You take out the wooden spoon this year. Western United, they've been pretty good. Like the last couple of weeks, I think they've got a decent squad, man. Like honestly, I think they've probably been the most underperforming team this year based on their squad. Apart from probably City and Wanderers, but I do think Western United get the job done in this one. 2-1.
Decent. Thanks for jumping on, Joe. Got anything happening that the people should check out at the moment?
Check out all the socials, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Joe K Football. Got a bit of Australia Cup stuff coming soon. Got a video on Marconi versus UNSW in the Cup. Ended up being a really good game. So, yeah, look forward to that one. And, yeah, check it out.
Too easy. Cheers, Joe.
Cheers, Dob.
Thank you again to Joe for coming on this Predicts again. Penultimate game week, thought we'd be a big guest in Joe K. If you haven't checked him out, make sure you go check him out. I'll leave all of his links down in the description. Penultimate game week of the regular season coming up this weekend. It's going to be a cracking round. Make sure you all tune in for the videos coming up soon on the channel. We got some big videos coming out. And obviously next week is the final regular season week of Predicts on the channel. So make sure you stick around for that. And anyway, make sure you like and subscribe. If you have enjoyed, make sure you drop your predictions down in the comments below. And until next time, I'll see you soon.